Right, off we go.
Alright, my experience with the Final Fantasy series is long and it's quite intimate. My first game was 8, and since then I've played and completed every numbered game, with the exception of 11 and 4, which I only played but didn't complete. Anyway, 8 being my first defined me in a lot of ways, including being very introverted and kind of a lot of my views in general, morality and romance, Squall's line about two different sides being just perspective, not good and evil. It's just depends on how you look at it, all that stuff. But characters like Rinoa they've resonated with me as they seek to bring out the best in an individual, even when the individual may be against it because they're introverted. Squall. It's the old opposites attract thing. It's the lesson we learned in science when we were playing with magnets. 7 was the third game that I played. And one character that stood out to me straight away was Aerith, the flower girl. I suspect the reason behind this is because she actually has a lot in common with Rinoa. They share parallels. They're both kind, they're well-doing, but they speak their mind. They don't hold back punches, and both bring out the other side of the protagonists, Squall and Cloud.
Quit acting like you know me.
I mean, make no mistake, Rinoa and Aerith are not the same, and they're both very different, but I just felt the need to share some of that stuff before delving into the purpose of this video. The purpose of it is the fact that Aerith is a very contradictory character, and she has traits that, well, they clash with other parts of herself, other aspects.
Gotcha.
You're killing me here.
Bear with me while I list a few things, flowers, a pretty bow, kindness, devotion, upbeat, naive, the word coddled. Okay, I'm gonna list a few more. Slums, a fighter, blunt, flirtatious, the word shit, and hitting people with a chair. The first list is an individual that's caring and quite cutesy. It's the basis for the pure girl archetype, a character that's defined by the fact that they are kind and innocent. We've seen it all so many times. And the second list is an individual who has had things rough. Consider them the badass archetype. They were toughened up by circumstance and is not afraid to fend for themselves. The beauty of Aerith is that she's both of these conflicting personality types. Never once did I feel as though she was doing something out of character for the whole game. The writers blend these two archetypes into one cohesive entity, and it really could not be more endearing. Strangely enough, she is one of the most human characters in all of games, despite not even being human.
That a compliment?
Brilliant. So, when you first go to Aerith's house, you immediately see all these pieces of her personality just everywhere. This is in the original game and the remake. Tons of flowers decorate the area. There's a waterfall splashing in the background. It's brilliant. All these streams going through this garden. But then huge rusted pieces of metal are everywhere. There's a giant plate hiding from most of the sky from view. But the roof is pink. The roof of the house. Something else I love is also her design. She wears this nice pink dress. It looks lovely. She has this little bow, and she's donning these big brown boots. Yeah. She has these wide green eyes and cutesy face, and her jacket. It's kind of badass though. It's more these contrasting and complementary choices. She's a character you want to see succeed. She's three-dimensional and manages to exceed expectations that you may have had about her when you first saw her. She's not just a girl who sells flowers, but she's not just a tomboy. But most importantly,
I'm not some princess who needs to be coddled.